Yeah, welcome back. Today I'm not going to cover anything really in particular. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some of the improvements that I've done on the generator as far as like long form text. I've added some more prompting mechanisms in place to carry the story forward, and I've also increased the context, the operating context for the calls to the API. But what I wanted to show you is what I've done for myself as far as like for testing. So here we are at the screen, right? And you've seen this before. In this area here, when I get to the Draft Studio, this is where I set the parameters for all of the criteria that I want, like in order to generate the book. So right now I just have this dummy data, as you can see, right? Like, live fish don't drink water and whatever. But I find it kind of boring to look at the same thing all the time. And I realize that every time I run one of these generates, that I'm creating a lot of data. And it's all the same data. But it's like the equivalent of like building a data warehouse in a way, right? Almost like your own little model. So I figured, hey, why not just add the criteria and have that generated? And then from that, I'm able to have a different book every time, at the very least, right? So what I've done here is I've wired up some models here so that I've only got 2 of these that are working right now. So just full disclosure on that. So if I choose like GPT 3.5 Turbo and I say, load me a random idea, so it will go back and it'll submit to the service and generate essentially a book for me, the criteria for a book. So you can see here, mastering productivity, strategies, and achieving more in less time. And this is kind of well, it is what it says it is. So if I generate another one right here, again, say, oh, you know what, I don't want to write this book. It's not really my jam. Well, I can click this button again. Now, right now, for some reason, it's giving me back similar ideas, but that I know why, because of the way I have that prompt set up. So it's just a matter of changing that. So let's try it again and see what it does. And now it gave me, okay, so a financial freedom blueprint. So in this case, I'm asking for self-help or how-to books kind of thing, practical guides to providing readers actionable strategies and stuff like that. Now, if I were to go to my other one and I say, okay, Gemini 1.5 Flash, this one here is going to go for a biography because I set it up that way. So if I click that, and the unfolding map, the life of Rachel Carson, an environmental awakening, and it gives you a nice little description that you can fire off. So in this case here, just to show you the demo, to show you the scale of the book that I can create now. It's getting better. It's getting a lot better, and it's going to improve a lot too. So I'm going to go back to the GPT, sorry, because I always say GTP. I guess from my old days or something. I have no idea. So GPT. So I'm going to load the random idea. And in this case, it gave me, okay, so again, it's falling into the financial realm. So I like the ones that, see, okay, mastering financial freedom again. But you can see it's different. It's just, anyways, that being said, let's just go with it. So I've also made some changes to my tones here. These ones here, I find that they're like I said before in another video, they're somewhat ridiculous. So if you go down here a little further, you can see that I've added some other ones that are more in line with like reality, So in this case here, it's a financial self-help book. So we're going to go with, we got professional authoritative tone for business readers. That seems pretty good. Let's go for that. Now I'm going to really step up the game here. I'm going to say 20 chapters. Now I'm playing with fire here with you guys because you're going to see me do this live, and if it screws up, that's on me. I take full responsibility. I will be held accountable. I have no issue with that. All right, so now we're going to select the words. And as I said before, the words, it's always one of these things with AI. It's an estimate. It's a rough estimate, so you can never be sure what you're going to get. So let's go 2250. You're always going to get something. And again, there's ways to manipulate this. Like once you get the orchestration working as it should, you can amplify it with different prompt management and contextual direction. And that's something, it's a whole subject on its own. And I have it set up. I have all the objects that I need to do that, to create that symphony, that orchestra. But it just takes time to get it right. And so let's just go with this one. Let's hope for the best here. Click here. So now we're off to the generator now. So because I selected such a large book, this one could take a little bit of time. And because I'm not really that big into the editing game, like video editing, and I probably will be at some point, because I think, you know, you guys seeing this over and over again kind of gets a bit lame. So I'll make a note of that. Let's go on ahead, and since we're waiting for the generation, you know, let's make a note. Hopefully I didn't hit a break point. No. No. Yeah, but like I was saying about the prompting, it's pretty wild. When you start to get into it and you realize the capabilities of what you can do, it's really outstanding. Because you can hold the AI's hand the whole way through. You know, you can start it at one spot, and it can be self-correcting as it moves forward. You can add to the prompt and tell it, oh, there we go. You can add to the prompt self-correcting measures. So you can have it do something and say, oh yeah, by the way, when you're done, revise what you did and make sure you didn't do this. And you know, that sort of approach to toying with the prompt. And I mean, you can go as far as you want with that. You really, really can. So this part of the book right now, if you were to scroll down, you can see that it's generating as much as it can. Let's see what happens. I'm not going to forecast what I think might happen. Let's just go. So here you can obviously see there's some partial prompts, and this is the next thing I was going to fix. I was going to fix it before this video, but I was in the mood to do the video now, so I just said, I'll do it. Next video. The same with that search bar you see popping up every now and again. That's going to be, either I use it for something or it goes. So now we're still running and it's still flickering. And these steps are all going to be updated, as I mentioned before. And once it gets over this middle step, which I'm going to find a way to break down into further steps, but this is the big one that gets the outline for the entire book. And that outline creates all of the different prompts that will drive each chapter. So it's not just like spitting out a bunch of text here. This is actually creating a structure that will drive the generation of each and every chapter across the context of the entire book. So it's doing a lot of work there. Basically formulating the entire book, right? And down here you're going to have a step-by-step of all the chapters that is, right now it's just saying chapter number. You can even see there that I've got a placeholder, see chapter number, so that's just a bad string on my part. Like I just didn't polish it up as I should have. These are all things that happen in development, right, as you go. Better to move forward and then sweep over it again. It's not like it's full production yet, but it will be soon because it's getting pretty hot, this one. Okay, so we finished the book. Again, this last step gives me a hard time, but I think I know why, because I was playing with the progress steps, so that's fine. So let's see what we got. Did we get them all? Looks like we did. All 20. Now I've got to number them. And now, I don't know if you can see that perfectly there. Yeah, you can see the scroll bar on the side, right here. So we're going big here, guys. Now it's starting to get pretty interesting. So same as before. Let me just see that. There's that search bar I was telling you about. So same thing as before. Now you can see that there's a little bit of issues here. So I can probably just for a quick demo here, I could say, what would I say here? Let's see, change to this. I don't know if it's even worth doing this right now. Change this to something. If I can learn how to type, that'd be cool. Change this to something meaningful. So who are we gonna call? I'm gonna say Gemini. Please, oh, I didn't select the text. So that's what you gotta do. So you select, boom, let's see what it says here. What is it giving me as an option? Chapter planning for tomorrow, changes to something meaningful. Chapter 10, seeds of the future. Okay, fair enough. I didn't really specify what I wanted, right? So we do that. What do we have up here? Chapter 10, seeds for the future. Let's save that. That's better. Now we have it. You go here, you go back, seeds of the future. So you've saved your section now. So I want to mark it as final, mark it as final. You're all good to go. And you move on. And then, as I was saying before, so if I want to see it in preview, here it is. Not bad. It's coming along. And once I get the copyright and all these other things, you really have a really nice book here. And I'm sure it's like got some really great stuff in it. With a bit of cleaning up, you can see there's a significant book, right? That's pretty sweet. And of course, that'll be in my book section. with all my other books. And I've sorted these out in a way that I've removed a lot of the redundant ones that were there before. But this is the results here you can see of all the different, you know, the fact that since I put that criteria generator online, it's been giving me a lot more flavor. Although a lot of them are financially driven, but that's only because of the prompt. You still have some leftovers from before. I've got a biography here of you know, Norman Borlaug, which I don't know who that is. And he's just kind of cool because if you wanted to do like one day you're kind of bored and you're maybe just for yourself, right? You just say, I just want to write a book about something I want to read about. And that's where this gets really cool because it's going to start to fall into things like, that's what, when I get into content generation and document generation in general, if I go back to the home page and I show you this here, okay, the orchestrated AI co-authoring, that's going to come into play with the multi-model. Okay, this is a big thing that I'm working on. I'm setting up for success on this one. I've changed my layers yesterday and things are in really good shape to really tap into this concept. Launch, learning, drop. This is basically what it's going to be as a course system, like kind of a learning modules. But the only difference is that you decide what you want to learn, right? Let's say you want to learn C# for beginners. All right, cool. You generate yourself a course outline. Course outline gets generated. Now how that's presented, that's the power right here. Because you can decide, oh, you know what? I don't want beginners. I want advanced, right? So now you got a C# for advanced tutorial or course or whatever that's going to look like. And then the engine behind AiLouvre is going to take charge, formulate that for you, and present it to you in a way that will suit your needs. If you want to see it on a web page, boom, you have it. You want to hear it. You want to have it audio driven, done. You want both, all can be done. And that's the power of the AiLouvre. And that's the concept of this business. That's what I'm trying to put together. Get the architecture right so that it drives the applications that provide a service. So that was a little more like into the nuts and bolts of it, but now you can see where I'm going with this, hopefully. And if there's any VCs out there, 1 billion and you can have it all. But as with all endings to the videos, let's go on ahead and buy some tokens, guys. I'm gonna go with the Weekend Warrior. Yes, sir, please. John, let's spend some of John's money. The wife ain't gonna be happy, my friend. Review the purchase. Confirm. Let's go. 1.83. We're making it. All right. Bye, guys.